real heart and soul of the New World Order plan lies in the mysterious underground military bases scattered all over the world, including roughly 30 in Canada, 140 in the United States, and more than 1,500 worldwide. Underground bases not only houses and conceals non-human life forms with incredible powers, but conceals an underground warehouse of sophisticated superhuman technology used for mind control, advanced military weaponry, and weather manipulation, with the eventual goal of depopulating the world. The average depth of these bases is over a mile, and they are basically whole cities underground. They all are between 2.66 and 4.25 cubic miles in size. They have laser drilling machines that can drill a tunnel 7 miles long in one day. The Black Projects sidestep the authority of Congress, which as we know is illegal. Right now, the New World Order is depending on these bases.
They are taking away our guns, property, and poisoning our children. When is enough enough? At Liberty Broadcasting Network, you will hear the truth. You won't hear about what's happening with Paris Hilton. You will learn what is happening to your country. We will give you the real news and what can be done. You will learn how the Bible tells of these terrible times ahead. How the Bible fits in with the news today. You will get answers, not distraction stories. Listen to LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com and enter the no distraction zone. You will hear news of what is happening right before your eyes. So turn off those reality shows. You will get plenty of reality right here on LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com, if you can handle it. It's time to take responsibility and learn the truth. LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com. Can you handle the truth?
Imagine no longer being tied down to your computer, but having the freedom to take live talk radio with you anywhere you go. TalkStream Live
is absolutely showing in a very cute way a satanic sacrifice before the Baphomet. Now you won't see it if you're naive and clueless. You won't see it. There's so many people that are in denial and they don't see how TV has been promulgating the satanic agenda. They're so clueless. I try to pray for them, and you try to do the best you can to bring, and sometimes I have to be honest, I get angry. Sometimes I get really angry and bothered, and they say, oh, you're ridiculous, and I get angry with it, and I shouldn't. Sometimes I do, and I got to stop and count. At least to 20. I've got 10 fingers and 10 toes. 21 gets kind of sketchy. Yeah, it's not funny, but it's very frustrating to see people so deceived, and they believe in their deception, though. Do you want to see the evidence? Nah, spare me the evidence. And no, I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just giving you my honest feedback. What? That's what was written to me. Nah, spare me the evidence? Spare me the evidence. And no, I'm not trying to dissuade you. I'm just giving you my honest feedback. You're not the only one entitled to an opinion or belief. So am I. I don't have a belief. I don't have an opinion. I search it out. He knew my name Thomas. I would do that. And I did. I questioned the Bible in my young days. When I studied religion in college, I questioned it terribly. Don't question it. You doggone right I did. I was disobedient. And they say that it's all paranoia and delusions for nothing. These people are so deceived. Oh man, I tell you. And what these people try to do is give you as many false flags, give you as many hypes as they can, and you fall flat. Give you hype, it falls flat. Here comes down the hype, it falls flat. And they want you to believe nothing's going to happen. When in reality it has. World War I, World War II, I think that happened. And 2 Russian revolutions, I do believe that happened. And I do believe, matter of fact, I don't believe I know, that Albert Pike planned those. Now, do you think that was a prophecy? I don't think so. He planned them. It's documented. He planned them. They happened. but everybody believes that they didn't, that it was just by sociological changes or whatever, events of the era caused it to happen. Yet you show them the evidence and they get that blank look in their eyes, or they really believe there's 10 reasons why the Great Depression happened. No, the Great Depression was planned before 1910 to set up the military coup that was planned in 1933. This is documented. You cannot refute this. I don't give a doggone if you're from Harvard or Princeton. I don't care. I will shoot you down like a geese flying away 5 foot away. The evidence is clear, irrefutable. Now, you can be discredited by sneaking pornographic stuff on your computer or setting you up in some way or whatever. These cowards do that. They're nothing but cowards from the day they were born to the day they're going to be judged before God in the great white throne judgment. They are cowards. Now, they can stop this cowardly action by repenting of their sins and coming before Jesus Christ. They can then become traitors to their own evil and expose them. Or they're the ones going to be exposed in a horrific way. And it's their own choice, their own decision. Salvation is open to those. They really are. But they're so deceived. That's no excuse. Once they've been told the truth, they are responsible. I need to pass something on. You know, I guess that's what the broadcast is all about, isn't it? Something came to me in my thought book here. When things are going smooth, nobody makes a move. When your routine is uprooted, now you got their attention. Now that's a really basic principle. And in this principle lies a more complicated version called the Hegelian dialectic. I'm not going to explain that. Look it up. Hegelian dialectic. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Now, they know this principle. God does too. God designed the principles the way they are. But Satan's a copier. Now, they present to you a false flag knowing you're going to react. Notice the ants in the ant hill. They just do their thing. They go back and forth and doing their thing. They're carrying this, carrying that. And you go squish, squish, squish. You better not be barefooted in a red ant farm. I tell you that right now. You go to Paris Island, you'll find out. Fire ants, man, will fire you up. I've seen people pass out on those. But nevertheless, poor little recruits. You stir up that nest of fire ants, watch them scatter. Well, it's the same thing until they get back to order. Out of chaos comes order. They do the same thing. So the thesis is they present you a false flag. Something blows up, somebody gets killed, something happens. Then they have in control the antithesis or the solution to that problem they just created. Then you have the synthesis of the predicted behavior. You provide them that out, that open. Thesis, antithesis, solution. Problem, reaction, solution. That's how they do it. And the solution, the synthesis, actually, becomes the next thesis. And then they provide another antithesis to that. They plan this like a chess game. This is how they did World War I, World War II, coming World War III, if it really happens, that's another story. Gog and Magog, fake Armageddon, boom, boom, boom. This is how they control mankind. When you know their agenda, the Humanist Manifesto, the Humanist goals, the 5 steps I laid out for you earlier in broadcasts, then you know where to put the headlines and where they're going with it. Now, you have some individuals that say that the shooting at Gifford shooting, the shooting in Arizona was fraudulent, that it never happened, they were actors and so forth. You have people saying Loughran was an actor, no, I don't, whatever, just, deception and so forth and so on. Now, whoever says that Dallas guy talks about another deception, clearly wrong. And there's some that could be, whatever, but I have my little theories on where Dallas comes from. I don't believe half of it, but there are some truth to even what the controlled opposition says. Now, they actually could have your facial identification and find the most likely face in all the police departments to match, and then they make it up. They want you to see the deception. They want you to know the deception, you see. And some of it might be, whatever. But they set up these things, whether they're real or fake, it doesn't really make any difference. The fact is, it's reported as real. You take it as real, and that shows you where they want you to go. Whether it's fake, played out, acted, I don't care what, Academy Award, or whether it really happened, it really doesn't make any difference. They want you distracted to think that everything's deceived. Don't get distracted. What did they report? Whether it's real or not, what was it they reported? And now, what effect do they want to achieve by that? That's what you look at. Don't get distracted. The 911, I'm not going there. They're still on the 911 investigation. For goodness sakes, I will only give you a clue. I'm not going to, and I'll tell you the clue because I don't want to go in deep detail. But the reason for 911 had to do with the occult. Had to do with the Masonic order of the Jachin and Boaz columns, the two columns of Solomon's temple, and human sacrifice. That's what 911. 911, the two towers were planned in the 1960s, at least the 1960s. There's a lot of an occult going on here. The bringing in of demons is what's going on here. In portals. They're coming. And when God removes that protective hedge, you better be ready. This is the blood of the Lamb. Remember when the angel of death passed over the blood of an unblemished lamb in the Old Testament? And those that didn't have the unblemished lamb, the firstborn died. That was a setup. It actually happened, of course. But as a setup, bringing those in the Old Testament period to understand what the Messiah was all about. But it was being done so we could read about it today, so that we could now put it all together. King James brought it together for us to be able to read it today. He silenced it during the dark period of the Dark Ages because mankind was not ready for the true Word of God. The Catholic, the Roman, the Catholic fathers or whatever, I'm not going to go there, kept the true Word silent. So when it was time, King James, a godly man, finally put the words together in English, of which there's over 1,400 translations from the English into other languages. Imagine that. I'm not going to go into the facts of the Bible. I could, but I'm not right now. But you see the point of the matter that I'm making here. The true Word of God came out. It was done by witnesses. It was accomplished by actual people. The situations really happened. So we could read about it today and know the supernatural through this book. Because as mankind, I don't care if you're a nuclear physicist with 180 IQ, I don't care. You're dumb as a rock if you don't understand the supernatural. You wasted your education. Wasted. And if you're working with the CFR, you better get the heck out of there. If you're true and honest in your heart, and get with Jesus Christ and get out of the CFR, get out of the Masons, you're going down. Now, here comes a trick. A trick they're going to do is they're going to, listen now carefully, they're going to get rid of the Illuminati. Your Benjamin Fulford, a friend or colleague or whatever, Rockefeller, don't believe this Fulford, but he's another Lindsey Williams, blah, 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 controlled opposition with his green dragon, black dragon, white dragon, something, karate, 100,000 ninja, swooper poopers, I don't know what. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and his Zagami, not to be confused with that art where you make little birds and whatever with paper, I don't know what. But in any case. Oh, they're going to pull a trick on you, but when they say they got rid of the Illuminati,
they ignore our Constitution. Now, why would you think that's bad? They hyphenated our people and made us disconnect. They say the things that made us great are politically incorrect. They give illegal aliens more rights than you and I, while they hold transparent meetings